Hello, everybody, and my name is Narendra Kumar, and we are from NRK Academy. Today, we have great quotes of Hegel in the series of great quotes of famous philosophers. First one: the spirit of a nation is reflected in its history, its religion, and the degree of its political freedom. The improvement of individual morality is a matter involving one's private religion, one's parents, one's personal efforts, and one's individual situation. The cultivation of the spirit of the people as a whole requires, in addition, the respective contributions of folk religion and political institutions. The second quotation: Germany is no longer a state. Knowledge of the idea of the absolute ethical order depends entirely on the establishment of perfect adequacy between intuition and concept, because the idea itself is nothing other than the identity of the two. Like, both intuition and concept are required. But if this identity is to be actually known, it must be thought as a made adequacy. So you have to make it adequate. In the tool, the subjectivity of labor is raised to something universal. Anyone can make a similar tool and work with it. To this extent, the tool is the persistent norm of labor. So the power of tool. The master is in possession of a surplus of what is physically necessary. The servant lacks it, and indeed in such a way that the surplus and the lack of it are not accidental aspects, but the indifference of necessary needs. So it's required, both are required, the master and the slave. This ideal and rational middle term is speech, the tool of reason, the child of intelligent beings. The spoken word unites the objectivity of the corporeal sign with the subjectivity of gesture. The articulation of the latter, like your body movements, with the self-awareness of the former. So, word and gesture both are needed. Spirit is the nature of individuals, their immediate substance and its movement and necessity. It is as much the personal consciousness in their existence as it is in their pure consciousness, their life, their actuality. The wealthy man is directly compelled to modify his relation of mastery and even others' distrust for it by permitting a more general participation in it. The universal is a people, a group of individuals in general, an existent whole. The universal force, it is of insurmountable strength against the individual, and is his necessity and the power oppressing him. And the strength that each one has in his being recognized is that of a people. This strength, however, is effective only insofar as it is united into a unity, only as will. The universal will is a will as that of all and each, but as will, it is simply this self alone. So he's talking about this one self, universal self. The activity of the universal is a unity. The universal will has to gather itself into this unity. It is like mystical, these words. It has first to constitute itself as a universal will out of the will of individuals, so that this appears as the principle and element. Yet, on the other hand, the universal will is primary and the essence, and individuals have to make themselves into the universal will through the negation of their own will. They should deny their own will, externalization and cultivation. The universal will is prior to them, which means he is saying there's something called universal will which is more important than the individual will. So this is directly mystical. It is absolutely there for them. They're in no way immediately the same. Individual will and universal will are different. And that completes the great quotes of the philosopher Hegel. Thank you.